Welcome to Veteran Support.
So what we want to do once we have a group of issues, or once we have issues that are in AVA, here is how we can escalate these issues. Excuse me, not in AVA, in HRC dynamics. First one is HRC dynamics. So what we will want to do is, if we know the particular issue or the particular area, sub area, what we can do is narrow it down here. I'm going to show multiple ways that we're able to collect the data that we need. So here are the multiple ways. So if we know that we are looking for something in particular about military information, right? So what we can do is come to sub area. We can filter by. We want that to equal military information. So we're going to apply. And now everything, there are 27 rows, everything with military information is going to populate. So that is one way we can narrow down the particular issue that we are looking for. Another way that we want to clear that filter. We want all of the results to populate again. Another way that we can look for particular issues is the GIRA field. We can come here, we can filter, and this is going to say equals, or you can say contains. And what we can do for this one, we can do, let's do, I don't know if they're going to be any, but let's try error 803. They may already be all moved. Okay, those are all gone. So let's clear this out. And let's filter by one that we see that's right there. So this is going to equal, or let's do contains. Okay. Error 90. So if you can see, we have 15 rows here. Anything that says error 90 IAM is going to be in this particular column. So that is another way that we are able to pull in specific or particular information. And I just wanted to double check. Okay, we have case notes. There's another field that I wanted to add on here, which is, I'm just going to click on one so I can shield that I'm talking about, and that is this field right here. We're also able to search by this field. Go back to this particular issue. So let's say that we are using this particular, the error 90, as what we want to send over to the product teams. This, however, is not a VFS product team error. This is actually an IAM error, but I'm only using this as an example to show how to get issues over to the appropriate teams. So what we would do here, we have all 15 rows. Everything that says error 90 is going to be in this report. We're going to come to the top of the screen where it says export to Excel. We're going to utilize the drop-down arrow that is directly to the right of that option, and we are going to select dynamic worksheet. Once we select that dynamic worksheet, another box will populate for select columns for dynamic Excel. I usually do not select another column here. Sometimes I will select status reason. It may or may not populate, but let's see what it does this time. So after we select status reason, the options we have are status reason, status record number, queue, object, and entered queue. Those are the items that we have selected here for this particular report. Now we are going to export. It's going to ask what we want to do with this particular export right at the top under downloads. What we are going to do is we're actually going to open this worksheet, this spreadsheet, excuse me, because what we want to do is make sure that all of the appropriate columns transferred over. For this particular recording, what I'm going to do is skip over a particular field and actually hide that field. But We're going to select enable editing. We want to look and see we have our record number, which is important to the information that we have on the spreadsheet. So we have record number entered Q, the status of that particular record, status reason, area object, sub area, Q, owner, the JIRA ticket field, which is how we pull this information over. Column M is going to be the description field. If you hover over this field, it will show the information that is in that field. It usually has the caller or the veteran information. It has the description of the issue. So if you were to hover over that particular field, you would be able to see another box would populate and you would be able to see the information that's in there. Because we are recording, I don't want any of that information to come through, so I'm hiding that. But that is the most important field, one of the most important fields that need to carry over with the information that's in there. And then directly after column M, which is the description field, we have the case notes field, and there usually is some information in that particular field as well. Once we have all of this information together and we've gathered that we have all of the fields that we need, what we want to do is then come up to File. We want to Save As. I currently have a place where I upload the export. So I come to my export, I go to my HRC dynamic exports folder. And what I'm going to do is rename this particular dynamic Excel spreadsheet. Because this is a test, I want to put test first. And then I'm going to do error 90, which is what this particular spreadsheet is about. And then I'm just going to put today's date so I'll know I can go back in there and delete this particular report. After I rename that particular spreadsheet, I'm going to select save. And in the upcoming recording, you will know exactly how to name that spreadsheet. We will have a naming convention for you. So after I rename that, I'm going to select save. That spreadsheet is now saved in the appropriate folder of mine. Then I want to come over to Teams, and I want to go to the Teams icon. I'm going to look for veteran support, the veteran support general channel. And I just want to stop right here and confirm that you can see my Teams. You want to not go to veteran support, but you want to come down to another shared channel that we have here called Tier 3 Escalations VFS Development. Once you come to this channel, you want to select, there are two options here, posts and files. You want to select the files option. Once you are here, you will see additional spreadsheets that have been uploaded to this particular location. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to select the upload option, select files. This should populate to, it should populate to where you uploaded your most recent Excel spreadsheet. So I'm going to look for the one that I just created, which is test error 90 10/6 2025. And because I still have it open, it has this icon right here. So what I want to do is go back to my spreadsheet and just close that spreadsheet because it will not allow me to upload if it is still open. Now that it is a check mark, I know that it's all good. So what I'm going to do is select open. And here it is right here. And as you can see, it has the three little exclamation points, excuse me, not exclamation, but three little lines. There were three little lines at the very beginning showing that it was new, kind of like this one there, like that one. I didn't want the lines to go away, but that's what it looks like there, showing that it's a new upload. Once we are here, what we want to do, this is where it gets a little tricky because I need to maneuver to Slack, and I was able to pull up Slack on my VA side. So what we'll want to do is come to Slack. We want to come to our VSP Contact Center support channel. And once we are in this channel, what we want to do is advise the team that we have issues that they need to review. And we also want to provide them with some information that they need. So what we are going to do, here is the pre-selected uh, template that we have so far. This still has not been approved by Stephen or Camille. Again, this is just a test. I hope I copied. I hope I copied. Let's see, paste. I did. So what we would do here is say, hi, product team name. And actually, let me step back for a moment, because the way you figure out what team you are going to notify, and I apologize for this, the way you are going to figure out what team you need to notify is in the We Are Veteran Support channel. And please forgive me because I want to make sure that I'm coming to the correct place. The instructions, perfect. The instructions will have it linked. So let me go back and tell you exactly where you would go. Within the Teams folder, what you would do is now come to We Are Veteran Support. You would then maneuver at the top. You would not select Post, but you would select Files. Once you select Files, you would come down to Tier 3 Planning and Support. You would select Tier 3 Planning and Support once you are in the We Are Veteran Support channel. Once you select Tier 3 Planning and Support, you would then maneuver to Products and POCs and select that particular spreadsheet. Once you select that spreadsheet, at the bottom there are different tabs. You can look at non-forms, forms, non-octo products, which is currently blank, and contact centers, which is also currently blank. More to come on those two. So what we would do is forms. We would look at forms and non-forms to see who we would need to reach out to. Because this is only an example and I am familiar with the fact that no VFS product team owns the IAM 90, Era 90. I know that it's the IAM team. The IAM team, I do not believe, has a Slack channel, but I'm not sure about that. So what I'm going to do is select one of the teams that we would be notifying. And at the top, it's column F, it shows that particular team's Slack channel. And if you scroll over, oh, excuse me, it also has the column D is the Octo product owner as well. So what we would do is tag a channel and also tag the product owner of that particular issue. So for instance, let's just say, let's do Cara. No, because okay, yes, she does. So what we would do is we would message this particular channel, the My Education Benefits channel, right? So we would copy that, if I could copy. So we would copy that, and we would also remember Kara's name. Once we have this information, what we would do is come back to our Slack channel, and you would say, hi. Are you not going to paste? Okay. I always want to embarrass me. Let's see, did it copy it? Okay, there we go. So we would say, and I'm not going to send this because I think it will tag them. So we would put in their particular channel. We would let them know we have compiled The latest Tier 3 cases that need your team's review and feedback, please use the Excel spreadsheet link below to review and update your assigned cases. And here is where the team's dynamic Excel spreadsheet would live. And the way you get that is when you are in the escalation channel, what you would do is come to the three dots beside the spreadsheet that you just created or the one that you are using to send to the team. You would copy link, use that as an option. So you want to copy, you would go back to the channel, back to the Slack channel, and you would because I did it that way, it linked to the spreadsheet. So if I were to hover over it, it doesn't want to show me on here. But because I linked to it, let me go back and do that again. So what you would do is you would link that spreadsheet there. And now if they hover over this, or if they click on this, it would take them to the spreadsheet that you just created. Yes, Stephen?
Oh, I was just gonna say, in that field where you input the link, you can also change the name, the text if you want it to say
Abs-
something other than that. But
Absolutely you can, and absolutely you should. Thank you for saying that. So let's back that up. So what we would do is, because it says the Excel spreadsheet is linked below, we could definitely, what we would want to do is use the name that you set the spreadsheet for, and then we could link it there. So this would be test error 90 10/6/25. So that way they knew when they saw that, when they got into that particular area on Teams, they would know that this is the report that you are looking for right there. Thank you so much for calling that out, Stephen. Great call out. These are still under review with Camille. We need to know if this information should be in here or if it should not be in here, if we should set particular guidelines, things like that. So that is something that we are still working on. And again, this template has not been approved by Stephen or Camille. So with it being this template and we're running through this demo, this would be the link to the spreadsheet. We're asking them to add their resolution or feedback directly into the spreadsheet, which is what we need them to do. Note any cases that do not belong to their team. So veteran support can reassign accordingly, and reassigning accordingly means that we would pull those issues out of that spreadsheet, create another spreadsheet, and then tag that particular team the same way. We need to confirm which GitHub projects label need to be used for their team's tickets, and let them know who should have access to that spreadsheet and who should be added as assignees to the GitHub project tickets that we are going to create. And please provide updates by a certain date so we can move forward with veteran communication. This is a part that is still up in the air on if we're going to include that or not. And if you have any questions or need additional context for a case, please tag me here or reach out via DM. Yeah, and we want to avoid including any PII in Slack or GitHub comments. And this is why the link that we use to provide to the teams is locked down. If they don't have the link, they will not be able to access that particular spreadsheet. They won't have access to it at all. And our team is the one who grants that access. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to remove this, and I'm not going to tag anyone since this is just a test. And what I'm also going to do is now show you how to create that GitHub project ticket on the board. And to do that, I'm actually going to come off of the VA side and open this back up on the on our company side so we can actually access GitHub. because we are unable to on the VA side. So I'm going to send this. I am going to stop sharing. So what we'll do from here is to create that GitHub project label. What we'll do here is once you post this particular message into Slack, you would then hover, if you hover anywhere in the message, this should pop up. Your icons may be different. This is how I have mine set, but this is what you want to see. You want to select the 3 dots, and then you want to come down to create a GitHub issue. Sometimes it takes a second for it to populate, but once it does, this is the message that you will see. So this is going to be, and this part is still up in the air, but we are going to say this is going to be a test for tracking issues for error 90, naming convention soon to come. And then the description shows that, hi, we've compiled the latest tier 3 cases that meet your team's feedback and review. This is exactly the message that you just sent, and it has all of the information that you just posted in the main Slack channel. It has everything here. The assignees you definitely want to assign to me for following. You want to assign to everyone on the veteran support team for full transparency, for acknowledgement, for follow through. You want to tag everyone on veteran support team. The labels, VSP, where's contact center? We're going to definitely put contact center, and whichever other labels that the particular team has advised us to use, we're going to use all of those labels here. If by chance they don't let us know which labels are here, they will add those labels once they pull this ticket onto their board. And those labels will appear on our board as well. So once, yes, sir.
On labels, do we need to include the VSP contact center?
Yes, we do. Thank you. And that's what I was looking for. I must have missed it the first time. So I can actually get rid of contact center. It should be VSP contact center. I missed that. So thank you so much. Once we do that, we are going to select open. And now what we can do is look and see if this is where this appears on our board. And I want to double check, are you still able to see, are you now able to see my GitHub board?
It's the post within Slack, it shows a post to GitHub. It's the
Okay,
GitHub app.
so let me come back to Slack and let me come to Zoom and share another screen. Okay, so this is the va.gov Veteran Support Product Board. Our ticket number is 121418. So we can search that here. What did I say? 121418.
Yes.
And here it is here. Now, because we have a new board for tier 3 issues specifically, what we would do is select that ticket, come over to the gear under projects, and select veteran support tier 3 tickets and remove the va.gov veteran support product board. And so now this ticket is no longer on our product board, and it is now on our veteran support tier 3 tickets board. And here it is right here. So once we have that ticket number, and that link, what we would then do is grab that link for the GitHub ticket, copy it, come back to Slack, go to the message that we created, edit that message, and then put that GitHub project ticket under GitHub project tickets. You're going to make this a hyperlink. So highlight GitHub project tickets, select that link option, and then put that GitHub projects ticket link in there. And now this is now a hyperlink for them to be able to also get to the GitHub project tickets. So this connects you to the GitHub project board, and the board also takes you back to this particular message. We're going to select save, and let me take you back to that GitHub project ticket, because here is that Slack message link. And if you select that, it takes you back to this message. So there's always a link between GitHub projects and your Slack. Yes, Stephen.
I think actually you're about to show what I was going to request, so.
Oh, I know. Hopefully I'm about to show what you request. You were.
I was just saying, it totally made sense how to take that GitHub link and go back into the Slack post to edit it to put that link in. I follow all of that. I was just going to request, for the purposes of the video, if you could at least, just show that
Yeah.
that was done. We don't have to follow every single step of it visually, but.
Oh, did it not switch over to
No,
GitHub
because you
project?
have to change your screen share.
Oh, dag nabbit.
And that's fine, just if you can switch to the Slack post, just to show where you put it in, I think that's fine for the video. I'll keep your audio description.
Okay, so what screen are you seeing right now? Slack or GitHub project?
Slack.
Okay. So okay, so let me go back to.
Oops.
Okay. Do you see test tracking issues error 9? Do you see GitHub projects?
In GitHub, yes.
Okay, perfect. So in order to make sure we are connecting GitHub to Slack and Slack to GitHub, so no matter what link you click on or what system you're in, you're able to get back to this particular issue, right? So we want to be able to get there from both. So we already have the GitHub project, we already have the Slack message here. So we're able to get to Slack from there. Can you see my Slack screen now?
Yes.
Perfect. What we also want to be able to do is get back to where's the correct board? Product, tier 3 tickets. Perfect. Here. We also want to be able to get back to the GitHub projects board from Slack. The way to do that is find the ticket, select it, come up to the top, and you can copy the link from there, or you can just copy the link from here right beside edit. Just select copy link. What you then want to do is go back to your Slack message to make sure that you are putting this link for GitHub projects in the Slack message. So what you would do is come to the portion that says, you would come to the portion that says GitHub projects ticket. I'm going to have to disconnect first. Sorry, guys. How do I remove this link? Oh.
Maybe the 3 dots.
Yes, edit. Can you see my GitHub project board? I mean, my,
Slack.
thank you.
Now, if you click on that, you can edit it or remove
Here
it.
we go. Perfect. Okay, here we go. Let's try this again. After you select the link for the GitHub project ticket, you would come back to the Slack message. You would select the three dots, select edit message, highlight the text that says GitHub project tickets here. Come up to the link option and you would paste that GitHub project link into this field here and select save. Now this way, if you select GitHub project tickets, am I still in edit? I am.
Yeah, save.
Select save. That way, once you come back to this message, if you select the GitHub project tickets, it takes you directly to the board. And if you're at the board and want to get back to the message, you can select the Slack message here, and it takes you right back to your Slack message. So therefore, both of these items will take you back and forth to wherever you need to go. Once the VFS Tier 3, once the VFS product teams updates the spreadsheet, brain fart, once they update the spreadsheet, communication can go back and forth within GitHub project ticket, within the GitHub project ticket, or within this Slack message, but all of the updates will be on the spreadsheet on the VA side. All updates will be in that spreadsheet because that is how we get that information back to HRC Tier 2 so they can reach back out to the veteran or to the caller, or that is the information that we need to provide to, no, this is just HRC. So yep, that will be the end of that. Are we ready to move on to AVA? Hopefully it comes back up soon. Okay, perfect. Can you, I want to discard that because I didn't make any changes. Can you see my my
Yes.
help desk? Okay, great. So what usually will happen is whenever we get certain certain issues that come in, we can identify them a couple of ways. First off, this is the help desk HRC Dynamics Tier 3 queue. This is the Tier 3 queue that veteran support is able to work on. And you can tell that by the fact that these are, the queue says va.gov Tier 3. So there are certain issues that come in that are labeled under the JIRA field for particular errors. These are a lot of known errors that we have. Some of these, this open text field will say EVSS, who it should be routed to. So this is a particularly important field for us. So I'm going to show you a couple of ways we can get issues or cases to the product teams to review so that they can review and possibly provide some feedback or resolution. So this is currently our queue. What we want to do is if we're looking for a particular set of issues, we can look by the area or sub area. So for instance, we have something going on right now with payments. So in the subject area, we can filter, and this is going to say, we can put contains payment. Let's see. Okay, so as you can see now, this is everything that is in this queue that has to deal with disability payments. As you can see down here, it says there are about 30 of them. Even though this is labeled as something else in the JIRA field. Excuse me, let me not say something else. Although there is a label for this in the JIRA field, we are pulling directly from the sub area field. So we have 30 cases right here that mention something about a disability or a disability payment. So what we are going to do for this particular issue, if we want to escalate this to the product team, we are going to do an export to Excel, and we are going to do a dynamic worksheet. So we're going to click on that. You're able to select your columns. I usually do not change anything except for adding on status reason to this particular report. We are going to then export this report. We are going to open. Gonna wait for this to populate. I'm gonna double check. Are you still able to see my Excel worksheet now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So thank you so much. What we're going to do is we're going to click Enable Editing. We're going to save this. We're going to save as, browse. I have a folder for my exports for Dynamics, so I am going to rename this. And I'm going to put test here, so I will understand that I am not going to send this out as of right now. So I'm going to save this under my exports in my Dynamics exports folder, and I want to save. Okay. And just to let everyone know, so this particular spreadsheet has the record number, when it entered the queue, the status reason, area object, sub area, the queue owner, the JIRA field is if there is any text there. It has a description field, so if you hover over that column long enough, it will populate some information as far as veteran information, as well as exactly what the issue is about. Because this is a recording, I'm actually not going to hover over any of that because I don't want any of the veterans' information to be seen. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to hide this column for 1 second so you can see the rest of what this spreadsheet contains. So after the issue description, which is this column here that I've hidden, there's a case notes column, and then there is the status reason column, which I believe is actually duplicated because here's a status reason here too. So this may be actually null and void. I'll have to go back and look at that particular column. So now that we have this saved, that's great. What we are going to now do is come to our escalation folder. Are you able to see my teams?
Yes.
Okay, great. So what we are going to do, we're going to come to chat in Teams. We are going to then maneuver to the Tier 3 Escalations VFS Development folder or channel within the Veteran Support channel. We have a Tier 3 Escalations VFS Development folder. We're going to migrate here. We're going to come to Files, and now you will see other spreadsheets here that have been uploaded. We're going to select Upload. We're going to come to Files, and we're going to look for that export that we just did. So that's going to be the Disability Claim Payments Test. It's right here. I believe it's still open, so it might give me an error message saying that I need to close it first, and it will. So what I'll need to do is click OK, come here, close out of that. And now that it has the check mark, it will allow me to upload that particular spreadsheet. And here it is, not there, here. It has the little, it had the little exclamation points or lines right above it to show that it was the newest one. So we have that here. What we would then do is go to, now that that is uploaded, what we would then do is come to our support channel here on Slack. I was fortunate enough to be able to have Slack opened on this particular side of VA. However, all of my access may not be available on this side, so I may have to stop and switch screens just in case. Wanted to let you know about that. So maybe some small pauses here. So once we're on this screen, what we'll want to do is let the team know that they have issues that are in that particular spreadsheet and where that spreadsheet is located. So what we'll want to do, and this is how we would do that. So we always want to bring them to our Slack channel. So this is going to be the VSP Contact Center support channel. This is where you're going to place your message and start your GitHub projects ticket. So we would come to this channel. We would, let's see. I always forget how to start this. So this is going to be test. Nope. Sorry. So this is how we would start this. So we would come to more actions. We would start I apologize. I get this confused sometimes. So it wouldn't be this message. So we would start a message here and say, hey, and this is going to be the pre-populated text that we have here. So I don't have that readily available. My apologies, but this is going to be along the lines of, hey, product team, we have multiple places that your team may be able to assist with. Please review the issues here. Advising of who will need access to the spreadsheet containing your team issues. Nope. And then what you would also do is bring that spreadsheet link. So we would do this. We would copy link. Copy. We would come back to here. So please review issues here. Need access to the spreadsheet containing your team issues. We could do that. And then we would want to put that link here, save that. And then what we would want to do is so then what we would want to do is hit enter here. And again, this message will be deleted. We would then come here after we send this, we would come here and then do create a GitHub issue. We would title the issue, let's see, tier 3 or product team issue, and it would be like disability payments issue. The information that they need would live here. We would also change the repo. No, so it is still the Department of Veterans Affairs.
Motion detected at your front door.
Okay, here it is. Here's the repository. Let me find the our new board isn't populating. Okay, I'm gonna have to pause here, guys, because I can't find the correct repository that it's supposed to go to, and I want to find the correct one. So I'm going to stop here, and then we can pick back up from this point. But this is actually a pretty good stopping spot. So I'm going to stop sharing here and stop the recording, and then we can definitely pick back up.